This is episode 6 of the webinar, How to Bring Data Management into Finance Practices. In this episode, I'll discuss the key barriers and benefits of setting up a formal data management function. I hope that in previous episodes, I've convinced some of you of the necessity of data management. But even if a company is convinced of the necessity of a formal data management function, still many decision makers can oppose such an initiative. We'll discuss key barriers and benefits to setting up a formal data management function. This slide demonstrates the statements that are common for many businesses. However, each company can find other obstacles and advantages to implementing data management. Let's start with barriers. The first obstacle is that the company can have higher business priorities. It's understandable. Every company has limited resources and should use resources most efficiently and effectively. It's important to understand that proper data management is a mandatory foundation and a success factor for many other business initiatives. The second opinion is time and resources. It's true. Implementing a formal data management function can be time and resource consuming. A company should have strong drivers to start such an initiative. At the same time, the company should recognize the business consequences of not having such a function. One of the reasons why a company may doubt implementing the data management function is unclearness about benefits and payoffs. You can continue this list of obstacles, but let's also take a look at some expected benefits. The first benefit is the potential monetary gains from implementing the data management function. We'll discuss it in depth in a couple of minutes. The second benefit is increased work efficiency, which we discussed. Another example of benefits is compliance with regulations. I hope you know the fines a company may pay for not complying with regulations. GDPR, the General Data Protection Regulations for Personal Data, imposes substantial monetary penalties for data breaches. Proper data management can reduce risks associated with that. Data management can bring some monetary gains to a company. Let's consider some statistics to calculate potential monetary gains. I took the statistics for the implementation of data quality. Below you'll find the reference to the source. The source claims that proper data quality management can increase a company's revenue by 15–20%. It can also lead to the reduction of the company's operating costs by 40%, including the reduction of information technology-related costs and expenses. Of course, these figures may vary per industry and company. However, opportunities exist. Until now, I've spoken in general about the investments required for data management implementation. Using this slide, I would like briefly discuss what kind of investments a company can anticipate. We always start our analysis with information requirements. So the company may need to invest in the means required to analyze, deliver, and present the information. Information requirements lead to the definition of data requirements. The company may need to acquire new data and connect new data sources. Assume a company still receives financial reports from subsidiaries in Excel or CSV file formats sent by email. For consolidation purposes, the company can decide to link various applications to stream data delivery one day. Optimization of data chains is one of the key investment goals. Many companies still have a lot of legacy software, including mainframes. The substitution and reorganization of data chains require a lot of investments and effort. For example, changes in technologies, moving from an on-premise to a cloud solution, will also demand initial resources for such a migration. Changes in data chains lead to changes in business processes. Changes in technologies also require an upgrade in staff skills. The company should train internal staff or hire new ones. So every component of the business will require additional investments. So the key question is how effectively use these investments to get expected results. As a financial professional, you understand that the company needs to make some investments and expect a return. The same applies to any data management related initiative. There is a time gap between initial investments and receiving returns. There is no standard time gap. Everything depends on the type and scope of the initiative and its organization. Of course, some companies fail and some companies succeed. So a company should assess the success factors that lead to rewarding results of implementing the data management function. The rest of this webinar is available at the Data Crossroads online academy site.